So if you have a party and you have a significant other, or if you're invited to a party and you have a significant other, is that person automatically invited when you like send out the invite? Like if I'm invited to a party, then then is my significant other invited as well? Or are we still like 19 years old and it's like, can I come?
Well, you have to understand too that it depends on who's inviting you, right? If it's like a good friend of yours, or like if it's one of us saying, "Hey, KB, you want to come to my house? We'll have a couple drinks and watch a game or whatever." Obviously, your partner is gonna come. Like we already put that in the equation. But at the same time, if it's someone like kind of like a colleague at work that you kind of don't know, and they're kind of like giving you that invite, say, hey, like courtesy invite, hey, can you want to come at my event and this and that, then I think you might have to ask.
I guess I don't have friends. I'm not friends with my coworkers at all. Oddly enough, um, I don't think they like me. I don't get it, but I also don't like them that much, so I think it works out well.
I would
But
definitely say it's a big context thing. Like, sure, if it's a party, then I don't see why that your significant other can't come to the party. But if your four guy friends in the chat say come over for drinks, then I wouldn't expect to show up with the significant other.
I also feel like that if it's like a party and you're invited, like they should expect you to bring your significant other. Otherwise, they wouldn't invite you. Like, you know what I mean?
The thing is, how long you been with that person?
And do they
If
know them?
That's
yeah,
true. Yeah.
that's a hard one, because let's say you just got a girl or a guy, whatever your orientation, okay, and you've been going out for like what 2 weeks or whatever, and then one of your friends like, hey, you want to come over watch the game? It's kind of like, just like the inner group of friends. Do you bring your girl? Do you bring
no,
that
I'm
person?
I mean, so no, like you have the title. You have the title of you are dating, and it's like it's not a Tuesday night saying, "Hey, come over for an hour and a half." It's like, it's Friday or Saturday. There's this going on. Like we're gonna hang out, and it's more than like you and your friend. Like if Brannigan called me and he's like, "Do you want to hang out for a few hours or do you want to go somewhere?" Like that's way different than a party. I mean, if there is a get together for people on Friday or Saturday night, I'm gonna say it. It's not a question. We are old enough. I'm making the leap for everybody. We're now old enough that is expected. Like if I'm inviting you over, that means you and your plus one. Like you don't have to bring a plus one, but it is now like when you get the invite, don't text me back being like, "Oh, can so and so come?" Use
Yeah,
use your
yeah.
judgment skills here. Like we're not 19 going over to like some senior's house.
Yeah, imagine that the person said, "No, I'm sorry, your partner can't come." What the hell are they supposed to do? Just sit around and wait for you to come back home all drunk and shit, or like, all happy after you had a good ass time, and they're just sitting there, or they have to make their own plans, you know?
Right. It's
I kind
really
of agree
weird.
with you. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
we're now too old. They're invited. On Mark it here on your calendars saying from now on, they're invited. Never have to
But
have the conversation again.
question for you, KB: did you call Cassie's parents by their first name yet, or did you give him the boss?
I gave him Big Chief
You the big chief? How'd that work out?
poorly.
Oh,
Poorly.
Poorly?
run it through. Walk it
No.
through it.
Poorly.
Walk us
Poorly.
through it.
What happened?
Well,
He just didn't react well to it.
um yeah, a little caught off guard. I walk in and he goes, how you going, Kyle? In a very nice way. And I say, what's up, Big Chief? And just a real long pause. I just walked out of the room. I was like, this was a bad choice. I made the wrong call
Yeah.
here. We'll try this again tomorrow. Let me regroup, think about it, come back. Let's do it again.
I
Maybe
think
next time it's boss man.
Yeah, I mean, I think on a real note, you come in, you see your girl's parents, and they say, "Hey, how you doing, Cedric?" You say, "How you doing, sir? Good, good, good." Or in Florida, we like to put the Mister and then the first name. So let's say your dad is let's say Josh, right? And and he's like, "Hey, how you doing?" Cedric's like, "Hello, Mr. Josh. How you doing?" It's kind of like a
I
semi-formal.
like that. I like that.
It's a semi-formal type of way. That's how we do it. And my friends, when they come to my house, they always call my mom like Miss Lita or my stepdad. They call, "Hey, Mr. Tracy," and all that. It's kind of like a, I know you, but not like professionally. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I like that. Yeah, it's like I'm trying to be formal, but I'm also here to party.
I like that a lot.
But back to the party, I would say a big gathering, 100%. The significant other is invited. But I've had situations where I've hit my buddy up and said, "Hey, come to the mall with me. Help me pick out some shoes." And he brings his girl, and I just don't put me into the third wheel situation when you shouldn't. You know what I mean?
Oh, right. Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah,
That's not what I'm
but-
talking
but-
about. I'm talking
but
about like a
for the party-
Saturday. Yeah.
For the party, 100%. I think it should be a given. You want more people in there anyways, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I'm glad we're all on the same page. Now, yeah. Never have to talk about it again. And now everybody that's listening, start doing it. That way we don't have to have this awkward, like, don't text me that. Don't say,
Yeah, that's
can this
stigmatism.
person come? Then it's weird. Like, yeah, don't do it.
I feel like from
I
now
agree.
on, if that ever happens to us again, I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, come on, but can you leave Cassie at home?"
I like
People will
that.
do that anyway.
Oh. Well, Bachelor week 4. 5 new girls were added out of absolute nowhere. Girls were pissed. Emotions were brought out. 2 group dates. The one-on-one was with a new girl. What are your thoughts, boys?
Brannigan?
Well, I think the one-on-one definitely went well. I think he
Oh, yeah.
immediately had the connection. And I think they're a good pair. They're both athletic. Really, I wouldn't say that he's a people person, but she definitely was. And I think that compliment is good. And I think the women were definitely rightfully so, like thrown off guard and upset about the new girls because even though it was only 3 weeks, they definitely had more time and earned more time, as I like to bring up, my time. So, but it'll be interesting here on out if the house stays.
Oh,
Well,
it won't. It won't. It'll be hostile for the next couple weeks. But you know what pisses me off? MJ still has not got screen time one-on-one with Matt.
Oh,
I
and
just
she's
wanna
made
see-
it known.
I just want to see MJ and Matt just making out. That's what I want to see. That's what I'm here for.
Yep. Those would be good looking kids.
Who's
No way
who,
around it.
who's the hottest out of all of them?
Dude, MJ's hair, got the curly
Yeah.
hair.
Yep.
They all have their features.
I am not a fan of, there's probably half the girls where, like, I get you're all thrown off and I get you're all not a fan of it, but there's probably half the girls that were like, look, this is ridiculous. These girls don't, like, we are better than these girls because we have been here for 3 weeks longer. You are on a TV show about dating, about a serial dater, and you are upset that they added more girls because you couldn't form a connect. All of the girls that haven't had a connection are pissed. All the girls that have a connection are like, I could see it. Like, there's a lot of them that are being very normal about it. That
Katie.
are like,
Yeah.
Because they got a chance.
right,
why.
but there's a lot of them that are like, yeah, he's probably going to give them some more attention because they're new and he doesn't know them, and like that just makes sense. And then there's half of them that are like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
I love it. Victor, and on top of it, so I saw this, I think it was on Twitter. It was like the Impractical Jokers, and it was like The Bachelor, and it was like Victoria's the queen. It's like, hey Joe, send in another queen, and they're all just laughing after that because you miss Puerto Rico came in. I
Yeah.
thought that was pretty funny.
She was immediately disrespectful with the crown too.
Oh yeah. Gotta love it.
I'm so convinced that Victoria is there strictly because of production. There's no way that like she spent 3 weeks there and Matt's like, yeah, I'm gonna keep inviting this girl on group dates. There's just no way.
I thought it was
And-
established. I thought they already came out, or like I thought it's very well established that that's the exact purpose. Like, she's just the heel of the house.
Oh, it's not
They-
established. They don't come out and say that, but it's just
Yeah.
so obvious that it just happens.
Okay.
Like
Yeah,
her,
I mean,
her
the-
time
the-
there has just been brutal.
The one-on-one. Shout out Jack Murphy. She's a teacher.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
shaping the new generation of this world. You know,
I did
Jack
notice
Murphy.
Matt. I did notice Matt was still wearing a lot of turtlenecks.
he wore a sweater
Respect
on the one-on-one.
Respect the game. Yeah, and it still had a little. It was close. It was like a half turtleneck,
You did compliment it right away though, so if it's working, it's working.
Obvious. I mean, it must be working. That guy could wear anything, and these girls would be like, "That looks great on you."
Yeah, they're not gonna say you look like shit. 'Cause they're not gonna get a rose then.
What's up, Matt? What the fuck are you wearing? Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
Are you serious, bro? Like
On my
turtleneck?
one-on-one? Yeah. Okay. Well,
So-
I think he could venture out. The sweater was fine, but that's probably like the turtleneck's stepbrother? That's close.
yeah.
Cedric, how often do you think is too much to wear a turtleneck? Like,
Dude, there's just some people that can rock it, some can't. All right. I got a roommate upstairs. He rocks that shit almost every weekend. And Loki, he looks good on it. You guys want to take a guess who it is?
Jimmy,
Exactly. So he can rock it, but listen, if you're on the thicker side, just like your boy Big Cat here or Cedric, all right, you can't be wearing turtlenecks. I'm sorry, you can't. And the only color turtleneck you should get is either dark blue or black. Because if you're getting any lighter color than that, you're gonna see all your contours, all your love handles, and all that stuff. And no one wants to see that. All right, no one wants to see that. But I do like the turtlenecks though; they look kind of fly. But I can't rock that shit.
I like the turtlenecks, but every day. Does every single day warrant a turtleneck?
No,
No, we went over this
absolutely
last
not.
week. Not every single day. Every weekend, yeah, for sure. It's turtleneck season. I get it. Every day, no. Well, maybe it's just because those are the only ones they're airing. But I would have hoped he would have brought a more diverse wardrobe.
Dude, in one of your pictures that you posted, KB, didn't you have a turtleneck on?
Yeah, black turtleneck with a
How
great
is
head
it
of hair.
hot? Is it hot in there? Your necks get sweaty. You know, it just trickles.
It is
on your lower
itchy.
back.
It is. It
Ugh.
is itchy.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
What did you think of them both saying 3 at the same time when they asked how many kids they each want? You think that was real, or you think that was
set up.
set up?
I'd
I
like
was
to
thinking
believe
that
it's
as
real.
well.
No,
But
it's real. Come on.
I think it says. I think like because I almost fake signed someone up for The Bachelor. It's like a joke, and it asks how many kids you want on there.
Oh, that's cool. Then yeah, hopefully I always hope that Matt's wearing like an earpiece and they buzz because like there's no way you can remember all of these details about these like girls' families. That's just hard. I mean, there was like what 30 of them to start.
mhm.
Even now, 15 or 20. I hope they like, oh, can I grab you for a second? And then he's just like, what was that? Okay. And he gets like the background in his head. And he's like, okay,
No.
what's her mom do for a living? Okay.
Mm.
And then he's
No.
like, oh, how's your mom doing?
Let me ask you a question. Now, those type of shows, those reality shows like The Bachelor, Bachelorette, or even Love Island, do you think these things are staged? Do you think it's an actual reality show, or do you think it's like
Yes.
another Kim Kardashian where there are some scripts?
No, it's reality.
Really?
Because some of these people actually get married at the end of it.
It's like half and half. It's
Really?
like, yeah, it's like prompted reality. So
Yeah.
like some of it is real, but a lot of it is set up. So before they, do a scene, they might give certain people cues or talk about like if this doesn't work out or this like there'll be graceful exits. Like somebody wants to leave the show, they'll be like, okay, well, we're gonna do this to get you to leave because at least this is good for views. Or
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it
like-
is prompted, but it is not.
When the reality
Not
starts to
fake.
get a little boring, they have to set things up, like the scenes when they're like just staring off into the distance, like while
Right.
standing on the porch. Like they're probably like, "Hey, can you go stand over there and stare off into the distance?" You know,
Yeah,
what I
They
mean?
let me get some
also-
sick pictures.
They also probably only put like a quarter to a third of what they actually like are recording. Like they actually like show
Right.
of what the full recording is. I mean,
Oh,
they
yeah,
probably they do
they-
a whole week of recording.
They
and
have a
probably
ton
only
of
show-
film.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brannigan, last part for The Bachelor. Has your top 3 changed?
Yeah, I would say Katie, I would put in there. I think I really wasn't feeling the whole vibrator thing at first, but I think she's toned that down, and I think she's actually a really good person. I'll throw Kit in there. Kit does it
Oh,
for me.
yeah.
Kit does it for me. I don't know why. Just something about her, just like ruin my life, please. Like she showed up in a Bentley, like she just like gives off the cocky rich girl vibe, and I don't know why that does it for
Turns
me.
you
But
on a little bit.
yeah, a little bit.
Mm.
And then my third, I would have to. It would be a toss up. MJ's there. I think the new girl has a good connection with him, so I think is it Michelle? I think
The one in the black dress.
Michelle,
Or
the
the
last
teacher.
one-on-one, the last one,
Teacher.
the teacher.
Michelle.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Cedric, I saw you looked at Brennan when he said the vibrator thing. So Katie,
Yeah, I
when
wanted
she
some clarification there.
first met Matt, she came up and she brought her vibrator out. Like that was her first impression.
Wait. What do you mean a vibe? Like,
Like, yes,
vibrator.
that.
She
Oh,
brought her vibrator.
It was like her thing, and she
Oh.
like the whole first night she was waving it around like that was her
like
like
a wand?
her thing, and she was
Yeah.
tapping people on the shoulder with it. Like it was really like making everybody uncomfortable. It was bothering me. But then like once that went away, I like her actually.
One of my top 3 went home already. So Sarah went home. Abigail's still there. And then MJ's still
Oh,
there.
Abigail.
Abigail's a
I do like
sweetheart.
Abigail as well. Yeah,
Sweetheart.
her voice is a little like for me, but I
You
get
can
it.
get over it.
Yeah, I get it. It's fine.
KB, is your top 3 changed?
Actually, yeah. I'll let one MJ. I mean, there's just no way getting around it. I would like her to get a one-on-one. But number 2 is Bree. She's really getting sneaky
Oh.
sexy.
Oh,
They're giving her
Bree,
some
yeah.
good angles recently. Like she's not getting a lot of screen time, but they'll like kind of flash over and be like, wow, somebody's looking really good tonight. And then Rachel's number 3. But Bree, I'll tell you, Bree's she's flying under the radar. She got that one early date, but it's something about her. She is looking great.
I did forget about Bree. She's definitely up
Yeah.
there.
Yep. But other than those 3, I think everybody's else is kind of okay. I've changed. I'm gonna say it. Bree might be going into first place. MJ is slowly starting to fall back, and Bree is starting to get in there. I don't know what it is. It's a little bit of she looks really good, and a little bit of she's a little dangerous. I don't know how that's possible because she looks like the nicest girl in the world, but there's that little bit where you just know there's something there, and you can feel it right on the screen. Actually,
Yeah.
if you're a living, breathing, just hot-blooded male, you think Bree is number 1, and everybody else on this show is wrong for not choosing it. Everybody else agrees with me. There's no
She
way.
actually was my number 1 last week. I can't believe I forgot about her. I
Yep,
think
obviously. Yep. You're just not watching the show closely enough if you don't think she's one. And she's doing it without even getting a lot of screen time. They've really been pushing MJ. I think MJ's getting a lot of fan favoritism, and they're really trying to show her a little bit more. She's getting a little bit more of
How could you not though?
Yeah, I know, but she's getting a little bit more of like the rebuttals, like something will happen, and they kind of like pan to MJ, see what like does she say a comment. Bree's just kind of sitting there, but then they'll like pan to her, and I'm like, hey, now, I think we're missing the star of the show. She's coming week 6 or 7 or 8. Everybody will catch on.
You know who
I
else I
actually,
kind of
I
like
actually
though?
do have one more question.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt, but I do have one more question. Do you think that Katie shoots herself in the foot by bringing up the drama in the house to Matt?
I
Yeah.
think what's gonna happen is everyone's gonna know it was Katie and they're gonna come after her. I think Matt's gonna favor her for it, and when people get mad at her, Matt will like come and comfort her. Kind of what she did with Sarah, but she's not
Mhm.
gonna leave like Sarah did.
What do you
It's
think?
pretty
Kyle?
aggressive. It's pretty aggressive to manufacture a story that a girl's a prostitute and then say that the girl who tells Matt is the villain. I don't see how
That's
that was
true.
possible.
Yeah. Well,
There
I
will
just
be a
say
lot of
that, I
heat.
say that because the last time drama was brought up, a girl went home for it. So
She
it
went
wasn't
home.
because Victoria brought up the drama with Marilyn, and they sent Marilyn home, even though Marilyn was
Maybe.
not at fault. She wasn't
Maybe.
at fault either. But
Katie's also really coming up the ranks. She's starting to
Yeah.
get a lot of good screen time. So I don't think they're sending her home. I think she's just doing what everybody want. Like, stir it up a little bit. I'm a fan.
I do appreciate she sticks up for girls too in the house. Like they're all competing, but she's still like, hey, like you don't need to badmouth somebody that's not even here anymore. Mostly
Yeah.
thanks
I like
to
it.
Victoria.
Turns it up. I like it.
Yeah.
All right, let's start with soccer.
All right.
Any questions, boys? Now that you got the big cat on.
Man United. They're
Oh, we'll talk about
wankers.
it.
Oh, they're
KB.
so garbage.
KB said on the show last week that he wanted Lampard sacked, and the
He
next
sacked the-
day
Yep.
he was
Dude.
sacked.
We sacked
Chelsea's
the
listening.
manager.
Chelsea's listening.
The only ignorant fuck that thought that Lampard wasn't gonna get sacked, and everybody knows this, is Yusuf. Okay, for those of you who don't know Yusuf, he's an avid Chelsea lover since I don't know when, and he literally idolizes Lampard, which That's fair. That's what happens when you're a manager, right? When you manage the team that you're a legend in, there is that chance of you getting sacked, okay, and you tarnishing just a little bit your legacy. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
I said it last week. I said, how many games is he winning? Not winning games? Sack him. I don't care.
You spend a lot of money.
I'm new to soccer. I have no rationale behind that. And even I'm
Mhm.
saying fire the guy. You know,
Yeah.
I'd assume this is how it feels for like if people watch football but don't really get it. And there's like fire the coach. I'm that guy now. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't I'm not going back. I'm for it. Sack
Listen,
him.
when you're a coach and you spend over 150 million pounds on, let's say, 3-4
Transfers.
players, which is a lot of money, okay, a lot of money to get only 3 to 4 players, okay, which they've been respectively world class, but they haven't been showing shit on the field, okay. They haven't been doing anything. The only person that been playing very, very well and that they got, which was crazy, is Thiago Silva, center back. He is a monster back there. He's like 35 years old.
Yeah,
He's
really
not
old.
supposed to be that good, but he is elite, especially to like kind of like lead the pack from the back. Oh no, he's so good.
Havertz, Werner, and Ziyech have just done absolutely nothing.
Whoa. Okay, hold on. Ziyech, you can't hit on Ziyech. That's my boy. I love Ziyech. He's so good.
He's
he
good, but he
reminds
hasn't
me-
done anything.
It's true. He was doing well, and then he kind of hit a little rough patch. But
Stuff.
when he's back in full form, I think he's going to be disgusting. He reminds me of the little Riyad Mahrez back when Leicester City won the Premier League. And was it
That was
2016
nuts.
or something?
Yeah.
Oh my
It was
god.
30,000 to 1 odds.
Cedric,
Just
all of those
insane.
Cedric, all of those words, you could have said those in any order. I could not tell you a single word you said. It sounds like,
Ugh.
are we still talking about Chelsea?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, we're talking about their players. Because
They'll get
Timo
better.
Werner.
They'll get better. Yeah, I get those, but they'll get better.
I hope so, because they spent a lot of money on these youngsters. And
Maybe not this season, but next season. I do
Yeah.
have a lot of great questions for you.
Okay.
oh shoot.
And then we'll go to our phrase of the day, like the soccer word of the day.
Ooh.
Ooh, I would love. Okay, number one. Why can't we get rid of offsides? You
Okay.
tell me why we cannot get rid of offsides.
Okay.
Explain it to me. Why can't we change the rules to make it fun?
Okay.
here
I'm
for
gonna
that.
I'm gonna explain it 2 ways so that all Americans can understand, for people that don't watch soccer as much and don't really get the offside rule.
I understand offsides. Why can't we get rid of it?
I'm gonna tell you.
Okay.
The reason why is, let's say you have a forward, okay, that doesn't want to work that much and just wants to score goals. All he has to do, if there is no offside rule, is stand right in front of the goal. That means that the
Yeah.
center backs and the defense have to drop and open up the whole field for them. Okay,
Right.
the whole field for the other team. So that's a no. It's
I'm hearing
almost
good
like
things.
now, let me give you another example so that it understands you. Imagine NFL. Okay, let's go Packers right here. Aaron Rodgers, they're lining up. Okay, and they decide, hey, you know what? We're gonna put Devontae Adams all the way to the end zone, and we're just gonna throw it at him. He's not gonna start where the ball is. We're
That'd
gonna
be
start him all
sick.
the way at the end zone. And no, it's gonna be boring as fuck.
I have a question for you, Cedric. Do you hate scoring? Would you hate that
Yes,
if
I
soccer
do.
games ended
I do
like
hate
8-5?
scoring.
You know
I
how
think
much
that
fun it
make
would be?
a lot bigger in this country.
A goalie just punched the ball as far as he can, and then you just you get a 3-on-3. Just fuck around down there, toss one towards the goal.
Yeah, but that wouldn't be soccer at that point. That'd just be kickball. You're just kicking the ball and trying to score.
Okay.
Soccer is a very elite sport with art, and you need to time. You need
Class.
to do the runs. You need to bend your runs. You need to shake off your defender. It's almost like a little football wide receiver. You gotta take the CB back. You gotta take the CB out of the equation. In order
Gotta
to
have
do
a good
that, you need to
route.
be good. You gotta have a good route and all that. You know what I mean?
You gotta catch
Okay,
the ball
well-
in traffic.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we'll leave that one as pending. Number two, why don't the goalies die for everything? How come I see some Joe just fucking
Okay.
kick one from
You're talk-
30 yards out, and I see a goalie like turn
Okay,
and look
I-
at half the
FIFA?
goal and it
You
goes
talk-
in?
You talking about
No,
FIFA or
no,
real
I mean-
soccer?
In real
No, I
soccer.
mean like in real soccer. Like how come they kick the ball in the
Mhm.
goal, and sometimes I see the goalie just like look and it's
Mhm.
in the fucking net, and he looks and he's like, oh, who's gonna tell me he kicked it? What the fuck's
Because-
happening?
Tell
Because-
us, Jacob.
So like on a free kick, like some goalkeepers know that they're not gonna be able to get to it. So they're just hoping it like either redirects at the
Um,
post.
You're
But
close.
if they cannot get to it, there's no point in chance
No,
diving in case they're injured.
no. They will die for anything. One of the biggest reasons, especially for dead balls, so like free kicks, penalties, or corner kicks, or whatever of those, when the ball's not in play. When the ball comes at them, they think that the ball's going out or it's going wide or it's not gonna hit on frame. So they literally get caught freezing, just like I think it's gonna go over. But at the same time, too, one of the biggest things also for goalkeepers to freeze, they tend to freeze, is because they were not ready for that shot. They weren't ready. They were on their heels. They were on their toes in the goalkeeper stance, okay, getting ready for that shot. Because if you're not ready, then what's the point of diving for it? You can't dive for it. But it's not that they think that, oh, the ball is going to go in at that upper 90 corner, not going to get it. You see a lot of goalkeepers diving and they still not getting the ball, even though the ball is like almost 2 feet away from them. They still dive.
I like the effort though.
Yeah. But the thing
Okay.
is, there's some great players like Messi, Ronaldo, and all these spot on free kick specialists. Okay, they bend the ball. You've ever heard of bend it like Beckham? They are so good at like not having the ball going straight. Okay, nowadays they have the ball like literally going up and it just drops, or it curls in and it curls right out again. Those are called knuckleballs. They didn't have that back in the days. Okay, and most of the keepers now are kind of old, so like they're kind of used to when the ball gets curved and you kind of can see the trajectory. That's how it is.
Or if a ball slices, like it's going straight, and all of a sudden it goes like curves, and you're not expecting that as a keeper.
Rashford is very good at that.
Okay. Next question: what language do they speak?
Any language. French.
No. It depends. It depends. It depends on the league. It depends on the player. It depends on the chemistry. It all depends, but mostly in the Premier League, they are speaking English because let me give you an example. Thiago Silva, Brazilian player, never set foot in England to play in England. Okay, for Premier League, he's played
until this year.
He's played in Italy. He played in France. So what those players actually do is that when they come to new countries or they go to new clubs in different countries, they actually hire a teacher or how do you call those?
Translator?
A tutor. Well, at first, yes, they do a translator, but they do a tutor so they can practice the essential words that they use on the field. So, step back or drop, or you know what I mean?
That seems like a hassle.
Oh, okay. Tell me about it.
Why can't other sports take off their shirts?
Oh, that's funny because there was one day. Huh?
Yellow card if you do.
Who cares?
Yes, but he's asking why is it a foul or why is it a card? It's because
I want to know why. I want to know how come soccer gets to do it, and when I see Christian Yelich hit a home run, I don't get to see him bare chested.
Because they don't have sexy bodies like us. You see this pack right here?
I would agree. You're right up there with all the other soccer players. Okay, last one. Who gives them their haircuts? They have killer haircuts.
Dude, actually there are some teams that have an appointed barber. But most teams, players, they go to their usual barber. They like kind of ask for a reference. They go talk to someone that has about the same hair and say, hey, listen, what's your barber? Let me get at him, So that's why.
Okay. Those are all my questions. Those are poorly answered, but I like some of them.
Well, next time you can have Yusuf answer. He's a more technical guy.
Brand, you got any? Or should we go to our...
Actually, I do have one. In soccer, do... older guys typically like still excel because you know how like in football and baseball, like once you get old, you're declining.
Listen,
you're almost out of the league.
NFL and MLB, you can be 42 years old and go to the Super Bowl. Okay, you're not doing that much athleticism in some position. But in soccer is the type of sport that you need to be fit at all time. Doesn't matter what position. Maybe the exception can be goalkeeper, like the Juventus goalkeeper Gigi Buffon. He's 40 years old and he's still playing. Most of the goalkeepers they play better when they get older because most of the time that position is based on experience, obviously agility and all of that. But for players on the field that are playing center back, center mid, attacking players, they have to be fit. They have to be able to run up and down the field at a switch of a dime. Like they have to be fit for that. And in order to be a tip-top shape, look at Ronaldo. Okay, he is fit as hell, but that's he's a specimen. When he came back from COVID, okay, in Italy, he plays for Juve, right? And when he came back after that big lockdown, they had to test all the players to see how physically how they decline or they got better or they stayed the same in their physical shapes. And the people, the trainers, they're like, Ronaldo got better. He got fitter. He got stronger. He has the body of a 23-year-old athlete.
What's the typical decline age of like a good
As
soccer
soon as you
player?
hit,
30?
it depends on age.
30?
It depends on position. For center backs, I think about 31, 32, you start declining because you're not as strong, you're not as fast in reactions. Center mid, I think once you reach 29, 30, that's when the start of the decline starts. And then for wingers and attacking players, 28, maybe 29,
Wow.
because they got to be fast. They got to be
Uh,
fast
uh,
and they got to be strong and they got to last all game if they
Hmm.
need to.
That seems pretty early, but I feel like a lot of these guys start at what, like 17, 18,
They-
19?
I mean,
Dude.
they can play for their clubs. Like Pulisic, when he played at Dortmund, he played when he was 17 years old.
Don't
Wow.
forget, like someone like Alexander Arnold, which is a Liverpool outside back. He was on the team. He was on Liverpool since he was like 7 years old. That's the difference between American sports and European sports. You can start playing for the club at like age 7 or 8 because they have academies, little U7, U8, and then as you get better and as you get better, you might have a chance to get signed with the senior team, which is huge. But unfortunately, we don't have that. Like we don't have an NFL academy. We don't
Yeah,
have
we
like
know
the U9 for
in
Baltimore
America we
Ravens.
just call it, high school and college, but to each
Exactly.
their own.
For them, yeah, exactly. So like in Europe, they don't really have the high school and college and then you go pro. It's you go in a club, if you're good enough, you're gonna drop school and then you're gonna go pro. That's what Rashford did. I think Rashford graduated from high school, but yeah, that's what Rashford did. He was literally, his mom had to drive him to practice when he was 17 because they're not allowed to drive until they turn 18 in Europe.
Okay, well that's all the
Well,
questions I had then.
well, we'll go over the quick word of the day, and it's the transfer window.
Mm.
So it's like
Transfer window.
so there's two transfer windows. It's
Mhm.
a summer transfer window that lasts, I want to say, 2 months, 2 to 3 months,
Yeah, about 2 months,
and then the winter transfer window
which
is
is like
what
a month, about a
any
month. Yeah.
anytime out of that, it's like a trade deadline. You can't leave. Usually, can't like leave a club out of the transfer window.
Nope. Well, it depends. If the team
I
decides
said
to buy
usually.
out, yeah. If a team decides to buy out your contract because you're that garbage and you're really a problem to the team, they're just gonna buy out your contract, pay you your full amount, and get the hell out of
Yeah.
here. But yeah, most of the only times teams can buy players outside the transfer window is if the players are free agents, so they don't belong to any teams. Then they can just buy them whenever. They can just sign a contract, they come in. But most of the
Yeah.
time, teams want players that are playing for the other team that are usually good.
I have to say soccer is probably the best way to do it just because you can outright like buy players. You can just go
Mhm.
there and be like, "Oh, this guy's good. I will give you as much money as you want for him."
Yeah. Sometimes there are also clauses where it's like, oh, Mbappe, PSG saying Mbappe, oh, he's so good. You know what? We're gonna put a clause where no one can buy him under like 300 million pounds. And
Yeah,
if they
it's
want to
nuts.
buy him, if they want to get him within his contract, within his years of contract, they have to pay that. But that
Yeah.
means that if they do pay it, if another team doesn't pay it, PSG can't do shit about it. They
Yeah.
have to accept the terms if they meet the amount, which is crazy. So it can be a dangerous game. So that's why most of the players, they don't really have a clause. Like I think it's called release clause or something.
It's a release clause. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no like trade clause where it's like no one can, like, you can pick teams that want you. Usually the
No, not
player,
really.
like, if
Well,
you
if
play
you're
for like a team in England, like if you play for
Mhm.
Manchester United, most of the time you're not going to go to like a rival team like Liverpool or City.
It depends. It depends on
Usually.
usually. Yes, because if you're at United for like maybe a year or something, you had a
Usually.
contract that was a year or 2 years, okay, and they're gonna sell you out because you're shit. If Man City gives you an opportunity, you're gonna take it. I mean, that's just common sense. But if a Wayne Rooney, or let's say for better terms, Lionel Messi decides to leave Barcelona and he goes to Real Madrid, then Spain will literally burn. Literally, it
Yeah.
would be a horrible thing. There would be civil unrest. I'm telling you, these Europeans are crazy about their sports. You think that the Packers are, which is, I think the Packers have the most loyal fans in NFL. Yeah, you can't lie, Brad. Again, come on, right?
Yeah, they travel well.
They travel well.
I'll give it to them.
But in Europe, bro, oh my God, they're crazy. They're a different mentality. They're almost like the Eagles every time the Eagles when they won the Super Bowl. That's how like crazy they
Right.
are.
Yep.
Speaking of Packers, though, we'll go into the NFL games here. Packers lose 31-26. It's a heartbreak for all of Wisconsin. I
How do you
was
guys
pissed
feel?
for 2 days. I was pissed for
Mm.
2 days. I'm still a little salty about it. Should have went for it on fourth down. Packers lost the game, not because the refs, because they couldn't score on Tom Brady after he threw 2 interceptions. With 3 and out, both those drives. Their defense, Kevin King, got burned twice. They lost the game. They blew it.
Listen, dude, the Packers, they played well, but there were some calls that were very questionable from the coach. Also, the refs were kind of shit. They they were very lenient throughout the game, and that last call just fucking killed you guys. Because, you got Aaron Rodgers with 1 minute left in the fourth quarter. That's plenty of time. There's plenty of time for him. But that call was that sucked.
Cedric, we know at best that Brady will always get that last call.
Of course.
Like I was like expecting it almost, but yeah, there were some questionable. Like, how could you needed a touchdown and you kicked a field goal and still needed a touchdown? I know hindsight's 2020, but that's kind of like something you should know as a coach. I feel in the NFL.
And you have the MVP on your team.
Yeah,
You're the fucking MVP, and you
Should
just
we-
kick a field goal.
and a
Should we-
multiple-time MVP on the other team.
Should we compare that to the Seattle when they decided to throw the ball instead of running it with Marshawn Lynch?
Something like that, yeah, but it was
'Cause-
less detrimental than that play.
It was
Yeah.
less.
Yeah.
KB, thoughts on the game?
The dark day.
Yeah.
It is a dark day. It is a dark winter in Green Bay. There is a lot of uncertainty, as Aaron Rodgers would like to point out, of what we're going through. In a week or two, we'll have Jack Murphy on to be the most spot on Packer fan reaction that I could expect out of anybody. But for now, it is terrible. I bought in, just grab the bait, hook, line, and sinker. I said, this is like, I'm the fish that just got fucking pulled up. I'm flopping around on deck. I'm not big enough. I'm not big enough to take home. He goes, toss you right back in the lake. The next day, I see the exact same lure. I say, fuck, that looks good. I bite.
Mm.
It gets
catches
me.
it again.
And he reels me in, and I'm like, what happened? I can't believe it once again. It is incredible to see us lose again. Aaron Rodgers, the Packers in general didn't get it done. We gave up over 30 points again.
I mean, it wasn't the defense fault. Like,
Yes, it was.
as much as it was a lot of points, they had a lot of interceptions where Aaron Rodgers could have definitely capitalized.
Aaron Rodgers, the offense could have played better. You are right.
Mm-hmm.
The fact is we gave up 30 points in a playoff game and lost.
That is a lot.
Again, we once again gave up over 30 points and lost. And it's not like, oh, that's just because we got beat by a lot.
Mhm.
No, we scored enough points to win an NFL game, and we did not. We scored the Devontae touchdown that he dropped right there. We don't give up a last play fucking heave.
Yeah, that was big.
What's that?
Yeah.
Kevin King doesn't see a ball come out of Tom Brady's hand and immediately jump. And then he's
Mhm.
coming down. He could have hit the ground before that ball was at its high point. It is incredible to watch the Packers just topple over themselves, rushing to
Yeah.
give the game away. They all saw it and were like, guys, we're right there. And every single one of them said, no, thank you, ma'am. I'm good.
I would have loved to see the Packers play against the Chiefs. That would have been
Yeah, that would've
that
been
would
the
have been
best.
such an interesting game. Like, Tom Brady's good, okay, but he just gets the job done. That's it. Aaron Rodgers gets the job done with a little zazz. You know what I mean? It's kind of, Patrick Mahomes does that too. So it would be nice. It would be a lot more entertaining game, I think.
The
if it
State Farm
was.
commercials for that too would have been obscene.
I will
Yeah,
I will say it.
great commercials.
It's time. You think about shopping him around.
No way.
I'm bringing it up. Yep.
Dude, the way Aaron Rodgers was doing the press conference sounded like he was never going to play a Packer game again.
No, he is.
But he is. I know he is. He still
Cedric.
has time on his contract.
Cedric, you know what's crazy is that there's so much heat on Aaron Rodgers' shoulders about, he's only made he only won one NFC championship game. He's only had
Mhm.
one ring. But could you imagine witnessing the Dan Marino era? I brought this up to Kyle. I don't know what I would have done because I think they have it hard, but could you imagine that era of Dan Marino? You have Dan Marino and no rings at all? Like,
Yeah,
that would have been a hard time. Tell me about it.
I would have been upset, but like you said, different times. you
Yeah,
know?
Shop.
it's true.
I don't
different
care.
times.
I don't care. Right? You shop him.
And he
Wait,
didn't even
so-
have to go against Tom
No, you
Brady.
don't.
Shop him.
You
Yes.
don't shop him.
Yeah, you have to.
You take offers.
It's
you
for the
hear-
cap. You
Yeah.
have to have money in order to get better players. Literally, they're gonna trade him for a couple of number one picks and to have
No.
their cap lowered or whatever the hell it is. Okay, so they can get better players, especially in defense, because you guys need defense. That's
There's
what
only
KB
I
said.
give him up. Only way I give him up is if we get Deshaun Watson return.
Yo, imagine if you guys got Matt Stafford.
That would be sick.
There's no way he's going in.
Nah, he's going to Colts. He's going to Colts.
He's not
I'm
going in
calling it
division.
right here.
Okay. There's no.
He's going to Colts.
I'm not saying you trade him. I'm saying you shop him around. You say, what are you gonna give me for him? And if you get a sweet deal, if you get like a real Godfather deal, you take it. His cap is
100%.
huge. He's at his peak, but he's not like his cap
old.
is so big that he is not gonna be able
He's
he's
almost
not
hurting
a-
the team.
he's not able to carry the entire franchise with his weapons. So you have to do, and like we're not going to get him the weapons to do anything. If
Because we don't have enough money.
we just don't have any money to go get him anything, we're going to lose part of our offensive line. We're eventually going to lose our defensive line. You're going to have to pay Jair coming up.
Mhm.
Preston, we're
Jones.
probably going to cut Preston Smith or try to trade him for nothing. And
Mhm.
there's just so many cap issues. Like that's what he's talking about. We just lost probably both running backs.
Yeah.
Alan Lazard is probably going to be gone here. Like Corey
He wasn't
Lindsey's
that good.
contract is coming up. There's so
Mhm.
many players that their contract is up. There's so many players that are just not,
They won't have enough money. to
they're
keep
not
him.
ready to be the Super Bowl team. And we're
Mhm.
not going to give him the opportunity to do it. That's why this year was so important to get him some help. And we just didn't do it.
Let me ask you a couple questions. How old is Aaron Rodgers?
37.
37.
Okay. How many years does he have left in his contract?
4. For sure 4.
It's 4. So guess what? After let's say there's maybe 2 or 3 years left. Okay. In order for Rodgers to still be worth a lot of money for the Packers, they can't let him finish out his contract because by that time he's going to be in his 40s. Okay. And no one's going to want him.
His
Okay.
cap hit is $37 million this year.
That's too much money for a little Packers there. But
Last year it was like 21. I'm just like there's a huge jump, and all the other players are also like there's a ton of players that have a huge cap jump that is just like you're telling me, Smurfs, you're telling me that I come knocking on your door and I say, I will give you Aaron Rodgers, you give me the first overall pick this year. You're telling me no? I want to hear your dirty
Smurfs?
mouth say it. Say no.
You're
Tell
not
me
on
no
mute,
right
Smurfs.
now.
I
I can
don't.
see you.
I don't.
Trevor would be enticing.
Trevor,
think I
you're
do
telling
it.
me you don't want 3 straight Hall of Fame quarterbacks up in the frozen tundra. The guy's cap hit is going to be like 8. We're literally saving probably $30 million in cap room
that's a
And,
lot.
but then you
For the
sign
next
Aaron
4
Jones then?
for the next 4 years.
You sign
could.
Jonesy, Lindsley.
You could sign Aaron Jones. You could sign another receiver. You could sign a defensive tackle midway through the trade, like halfway through the season. We'll have 10 million still in cap space to trade for some defensive player to come over. We would have so much cap space, you wouldn't know what to do with yourself.
You guys have a lot of weapons offensively. You guys have a decent amount of weapons. I'm not gonna say like, like the Tampa Bay, which have fucking Mike Evans, Godwin, and AB and Gronkowski, but you guys have weapons. Now, if you put like a decent quarterback, he can actually do a decently good job, especially a number 1 overall pick. Trevor Lawrence can probably sling the ball pretty well. And
all the teams that have gone, like the recent record will show you that a cheap quarterback is the way to get to the Super Bowl. The Chiefs are going to do it, twice in a row. The Rams did it.
Yep.
There's a lot of teams that are showing you that this is a way. I'm not saying like it has to be the way. I mean, Brady, like when Brady made his Super Bowls, he's not making a $37 million cap hit. Like there's a lot of teams that are showing you it is possible to do it this way. But we just don't have the talent. We're just not there to be an overwhelming favorite. And if you could get Trevor Lawrence, you get Trevor Lawrence. I would actually give another first round pick with Aaron Rodgers for Trevor Lawrence. I would we just need it.
From a managerial standpoint, it does make sense to do that.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Let me ask you something. Aaron Rodgers, everybody in Wisconsin loves Aaron Rodgers. Does Aaron Rodgers love Wisconsin enough to kind of take a pay cut to a point where they can, buy some better players?
Not unless his contract's up. He still has 4 years on it. He still has 3 more years on his contract. So yeah, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to leave. I mean, I guess the number 1 pick would be pretty good, but anyway, let's move on. One last thing. GameStop and the stock market, hedge funds, it's been fucking insane today.
Dude, I just learned a lot about the stock market today and yesterday too because of all that. And shout out to those Reddit users, man, for just fucking up the rich, I love it. But did you hear about Robinhood, the app Robinhood? How they decided to, because of recent event or how volatile this thing is, you guys can't buy anymore. You can't do anything with AMC.
No, you can't. You cannot buy.
You can only sell. You can only sell AMC and what was the other one? GameStop.
AMC,
and I think there was another one.
BlackBerry, Kodiak.
There's
like
Nike,
yeah.
Which that's kind of fucked up because now they're getting fucked by all parties, saying the average working people that want to just get their feet wet on
retail investors
on this,
I learned that word today. Retail
investors, yeah.
Learned a lot of stuff.
All of the people that are talking about it, they basically figured, Reddit users figured out we can fuck over this company, this hedge fund, for making a stupid decision, and they did. But the problem is that this is probably one of the first times that they organized enough people to do it. And so Robinhood didn't have enough. They basically didn't have enough money in reserves. They owe money to different places so that they're allowed to, and it's like a bank owes people money. But so they basically didn't have enough reserve money and they were kind of getting fucked. But eventually, so they shut it down. And then everybody got very upset, right? Rightfully so. Yeah. And all you could hear is people talking about the little investor is going to get hurt. The little investor will get hurt in the long run, but who gives a fuck? This is your choice. They basically screwed up. Nobody talks about the little investor getting hurt when it's the hedge funds that are doing the screwing over. They're like, yeah, you're the bag holder. But now that the regular people figured it out, they're like, well, this is not good for these other people. The stock was at $4, something crazy, and it's up to 300 because of the short squeeze. And they're like, what about all the people that are buying in at 300 thinking that's going to keep going up. And like if it goes down, it's like, yeah, those people are morons. Like, what do you want?
Yeah.
What do you want from me? Some people
Yeah.
made money on it. Don't pile in after people have already piled on. But let's say it go like they want it to go to 1,000. Let's say it goes to 1,000. All the people piling in at 300 look really smart. Like the stock market is such a, you just look back and you're like, that was a great choice. Nobody fucking knows where it's going.
Yeah.
Like you can't predict day to day what's going to happen. The whole like Wolf of Wall Street thing has a little bit of truth in it where
Mhm.
you really like, you can't tell. And they talk about these Wall Street people. They're like, oh, well, like this isn't fundamentally sound. Like, no fucking shit. It's not fundamentally sound. Like people trade. You think Tesla's fundamentally sound?
Of
There's
course
so
not.
many stocks that go way off of the fundamentals that it's all momentum trading, which is clearly the most fun of trading.
Mhm.
But it's ridiculous. It's kind of fun. I'm cheering for the Reddit users because that would be very funny.
They
One of
were-
the companies might be going bankrupt, which is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, they were saying that the big hedge funds want to take legal action, or they want
They
to
can't.
talk to all those. Yeah, they're trying to rewrite stuff, the laws of trading,
But
so
the
that
SEC
doesn't
has
happen
to do that.
again. But the problem is what the people at Reddit did is completely legal. They're just set out to a bunch of people, hey, let's go buy a ton of fucking AMC
GameStop,
shares
yeah.
and GameStop shares. Like it's not illegal to do that. They just got the wrong end of the stick.
They
And
fucked
guess
it for
what?
the rich.
You telling me those big ass hedge funds don't do that either? They don't do that? Come on.
Oh, those guys do that every single day of the week.
Of
They just
course.
they got caught. This one firm got caught with their pants down, like, and now they're gonna get fucked for it.
Yeah,
Literally.
I love it.
They were over leveraged, and so like they basically just made a bet and said, I think the Packers are gonna win this game. And
Mhm.
they said, I don't like, how much do you want to put down there? And be like, how much is your firm worth? My firm is worth 300 billion. Okay, well, how much do you want to put on the game? 300 billion. And then they're like, I can't believe we're going bankrupt. This is ridiculous.
Oh shit, that's funny.
That's literally what's happening. And now they're fucking crying wolf because they got the short end of the stick, and they're like, oh fuck, somebody figured out this math better than I did.
Mm-hmm. Someone should have been in the Reddit.
Nuts.
Yeah,
Nuts.
that's funny.
And Twitter has been so fun to watch.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Yeah, there's always a meme for something.
Oh,
Yeah, the Prez, everything. The Prez has been just going at people. Like, there's the class action lawsuit against Robinhood now.
mm-hmm.
Good. A lot of people. Well, I don't know about law, but a few people are going to be in jail. Probably won't be the right people. You don't think so?
Dude, come on.
It won't be the right people, but it'll be somebody.
Be a slap in the hand.
I'll put it this way. In 2008, there was an entire global collapse of financial systems. You want to know how many people went to jail?
How many?
One.
Ooh,
There's like a very small handful of people that went to like white collar prison for like a fucking month. Like there's nothing that's going to happen
Jesus.
because it's all it's like a
Chance.
house of cards. So like there's so many people that are tied in that if you realistically went after everybody, like you'd be fucking the government, you'd be fucking an entire the entire financial sector. There's so many things that are woven that people just kind of give the okay to. And like a lot of people don't you're not like this one hedge fund is not making this bet to fucking topple this, like thinking they're going to topple this system. It's just like, yeah, there's going to be 0 arrests. This class action lawsuit is going to go nowhere because to get onto Robinhood, you have to sign something that says I accept whatever, which I'm in there. It has to say I can do whatever the fuck I want and you can't sue me. Like you definitely signed something saying that. There's no way anybody is going to prison. There's no way that there's going to be any repercussions. Class action lawsuits are just for lawyers to get famous. No, in a week, this is going to be just old news and people are going to forget about it. They're going to launch an investigation and then you're never going to hear about that investigation ever again. So mark your calendars from a year from now and nobody will remember what we're talking about.
I hope it keeps happening though. I hope Reddit, like they just keep doing this. And I hope they get on one and just make a fuck ton of money. But, you know.
A lot of the companies stop now. It's like a lot of them delevered. Like a lot of them took down their short positions because they figured out that Reddit users
are going to do this.
Can
again.
fuck them up.
They're coming for them.
It's awesome. Alrighty, well, thank you, Cedric, for hopping on with us. We do appreciate it.
Yeah, good to see you, Ced. Thanks for being on.
We can't hear you.
Love you too, Brannigan. Always come back. Come back to Wisconsin so we can party. All right.
For sure.
Hey,
Party.
Sad, question for you.
Go.
Where can you find the podcast?
You can find the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, and also on YouTube.
And good
What
pods.
And what?
And good pods.
And good pods. All right. So please go and check it out. Have fun and see you guys later.